Hello, my name is Sharanya and I'm from Pandevaraji. My metric number is 01DAC25F1023. Today I'm going to explain about the resisting the king to the first triangle in chess. Resisting the king in the first triangle means limiting the opponent's king movement so it cannot move freely. In this technique, the opponent king is forced to stay in the three squares that form a small triangle, which is called the first triangle. The purpose of this method is to stop the opponent's king from escaping or helping to defend. By resisting the king, we can easily control the ball and make it easier to win the endgame. To do this, first we move our king closer to the opponent's king. Then we place our king in this position that blocks the escape squares. When this happens, the opponent's king will only be available to move between three squares, forming a first triangle. In conclusion, resisting the king to the first triangle is a strategy that used to control the opponent's king movement and gain advantage in the endgame. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can see this is one of the exercise. So let's begin. We're going to move the white king to g6. That will form a first triangle. That's it. That's it for me. Thank you. Okay. Today, we're going to talk about restricting the king to the next triangle. So I'm going to explain first, then we will see how the king will move to the second triangle. This is the stage. The goal is to push the king's opponent to the first triangle into a smaller area called the second triangle. First, our king moves closer to the opponent's king to control the important squares. Then, the bishop controls the diagonal squares to stop the king from escaping. At the same time, the knight covers the squares that bishop can't reach. By working together, the king, bishop, and knight slowly force the opponent's king towards the edge of the board. This limits the king's movement and traps it in the second triangle. This step is important because it prepares us to push the king into the triangle and finally deliver a checkmate. So, let's see how it works. So the white king will move to g7, the black will move to e8. Our bishop will move to c4, and the black king will move back to e7. So our white bishop will move to r7. So the black move down to d6. The white king will move to f8, allowing the black to go up to d7, and the bishop from the white side will move to b3. The white king will move to e8, and the black king will move to c7. The white king will move to e7. Black king will move to c6, and white king will move to e6. Black king will move even more down to b5. White king will move to d6. Black will move to a5. White king will move to c5. Black move to a6. Now I'll bring our bishop up to a4. Now we're going to bring our knight to f4. So the king only went to the edge of the board to c8. Now we're going to bring our knight to d5, our king to d6, and black will go back to its place to c8. So we're going to bring our king to e7. So we're going to bring our bishop to d5. That's how we're going to done, ladies and gentlemen. The second triangle. That's all for me. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Hashwin Anatlalaki Prakash, and my metric number is 01DFI25F1047. So today I'm going to talk about the exercise of restricting the king to the second triangle. So the goal is to take the dark opponent's king, a dark square king, to the corner of the chessboard. So the best move in this case is taking the bishop to f7, which blocks this square and this square. Next, we take the second best move is closer, bringing the white square king closer to the corner. So which is best move is king to f8 move, making the king closer to the, bringing the king closer to the corner at the same time. Okay, next we're gonna learn about restricting the king to the third triangle. Restricting the king to the third triangle. So the best move here is same tactic like last time. We're going to bring this king to the corner. So we're going to bring all these pieces, bishop, knight, and king closer. So the best move is king to d6, and this will block this side and this side. Next move is best move is d2, king to d7, blocking this, and this side. And this bishop is blocking here. So best move is king to c7, then bishop to a6, blocking this row, and the king blocking this row. Next, we bring the bishop is now being attacked by the dark square king, so we bring it to safety. At the same time, blocking this row, bring the bishop to c8. Now, the king is protecting this and this and this, while the bishop is protecting this square. So this is the restricting the king to the third triangle. So this is how you're going to checkmate in the next couple of moves. That is all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Yugashini, daughter of Dharmalingam, and my metric number is 01DAC25F1068. Today I am going to explain about knight and bishop mate. Let's start with the first exercise delivering mate. First, the black king moves to a7 from a8. Now, white knight's turn. Knight moves to c3 from d5. And the black king moves to a8. So now it's white turn again. So I'm going to move bishop. White bishop move to b7 from c8. And the black king move again to a7. Now I will move white knight to b5. And it's a checkmate. Let's continue with exercise 2. First I'm going to move the white king to e2. And then I'm going to move again white king to d3. And again I'm going to move the white king to e4. And the black king moved to c5. Now I'm going to use the white bishop to move to d3. And I'm going to move the white king to d4. And the black king moved to b3. Now I'm going to use the white knight and move to f3. And I'm going to use the white knight again to move to d2. Now white king will move to c3. And the black king move to a1. Now I'm going to use the white bishop to move to e4. And then I'm going to use the white knight to move to b3. And I'm going to move the white bishop to h7. The black king move to b2. And then I'm going to use the white bishop again to move to d3. Then I'm going to use the white bishop to move to b1. And then I'm going to use the white knight to move to d4. And then the black king move to a5. Then I'm going to use the white king to move to c4. Then I'm going to use the white king move to b5. Now I'm going to move the white bishop to f5. And the black king move to c6. And again I'm going to move the white bishop to g4. And then I'm going to move again the white bishop to d7. The black king move to a5. And then the white knight going to move to d6. And again going to move to e8. The white king going to move to c5. And the black king going move to a6. Now white knight will move to d6. The white knight going to move to c4. It's a check, so the black king move to a6. The white bishop going to move to c8. It's a check again, so the black king move to a6. a7. The white king move to c6. And the black king move to a8. The white king going to move to c7. And then the white knight going to move to a3. The white bishop going to move to b7. So it's a check. So the black king move to a7. And I'm going to use the white knight to move to b5. And it's the last movement and to do the checkmate.
Now, the next exercise would be checkmate the engine, the SB addition. Now, all the white pieces would then move to the other side of the board, which is nearer to the black king. Now, two of the pieces are successfully made it to the other side, while the bishop stays behind. Now, the king, black king, would then try to swiftly move the threads from the other pieces. Now the black king has been cornered successfully by the 3 pieces to the white side of the board. Now the black king would then move to the corner even more to avoid getting checkmated by the 3 white pieces, which is the white king, bishop, white bishop, and the white knight. Now the bishop will then give the finishing blow, which is the checkmate to the black king. That is all for this part. Now the last part of the exercise will be checkmate the engine, rotated addition. The white pieces will then move to the other side of the board to threaten the black king. The white pieces have successfully made it to the other side, checking the black king for the first time. The black king will then continue to avoid these threats. The black king would now move to the corner near to h1 so that it will not get checked. Now the black king has been successfully cornered by all 3 white pieces, which is the knight, bishop, and the king. And now the white pieces would then give the black king the finishing blow, which is checkmate. That is all for the video. Thank you so much for watching.